Hey folks, welcome to this quick and dirty playing around fun stream. I'm just doing this to do some technical investigations because one thing I always love when looking at YouTube videos is finding those videos that have 60p, like 60 frames per second quality, and I really love those. I just hope that this works with my computer. I'm just seeing that I'm gonna kill this stream because I haven't changed the bitrate. Hey folks, welcome to a highly experimental video stream. The video quality might be shitty and the subject is totally loose. I'm just messing around a little bit with some stuff that I recently purchased. So don't expect too much. If you're watching this, sorry, it's not going to be any big streaming happening. It is more a little bit I wanted to try out, and I kind of have to stream, and people are going, might be turning in, so don't be disappointed. What I got here is some, I don't know, just some PCB I found lying around because I want to do some playing around with something that I bought recently. But first of all, the reason why I'm doing a little tech demo experiment here is because first of all I wanted to mess with the bit rate of my videos. I have tried raising this one now because I realized that I was only using a part of my upstream bandwidth, and I was hoping that the videos might look a bit better, and at the same time I have doubled my frame rate because I'm a big fan of YouTube videos with 60 FPS, especially those videos where something happens on screen, because it just smoothens out the movements on camera so much. I love it. So I hope you appreciate it, and I hope this goes well. I hope it doesn't melt my little streaming notebook that I've got sitting up there doing all the brain work for these streams. And yeah, as a subject for the stream, something that I wanted to do a much more in-depth video at a later point is I have gotten a recommendation for a cheap soldering iron from a friend, Zambumon. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He's a very well-known key set designer. He's done the GMK Nautilus keycap set, for example, and I really love that. And yeah, and there's he's been getting one of these TS-100 soldering irons from China. They're quite the shit, and the best part about them is, first of all, they're pretty cheap, and they are using a very modern concept, which makes them like really great irons. And they have an open source firmware, and there's even people who already got into hacking them, which is pretty cute. And it's just an overall all-around neat package. And I kind of did the Vodan thing, and I got two. First one I got off Amazon, the German Amazon, and it's this one. It is actually not branded as a TS-100. It is branded as a what's it branded? Soldering iron. Oh yeah, it's called a Pro 32 soldering iron. It comes with two tips, which is pretty neat. It comes with a surprisingly nice manual, and it does come with a power adapter. The power adapter thing is one of the factors of these soldering irons that is very neat, because the original idea, I'm just going to show you the other one I got. This is the original one I got off AliExpress or Banggood, I don't know. The original idea is that you just get the iron, and it has a very common connector for power, and it like the little microcontroller in there can work with a great variety of different input voltages and amperages, and you can really like the best part of it is you can use your old notebook power supplies to power these things, and yeah, save the cost for a power supply by using one that you've got laying around anyway at home. Problem is, you need one that fits. I found out that I think I already removed it again. Like I've been a ThinkPad user for a million years now, I think, and Lenovo or IBM, they have been changing the ThinkPad power plug, I think 3 times over the course of my ThinkPad history, and the original ThinkPad power connector that I've been using back in the days. Give me a second, I'm gonna grab it. It's a trash stream anyway. These ones, like these are the power connectors that ThinkPads had in the T40 series, T40, T41, T42, T43. They're still IBM branded, yeah. When the ThinkPads were still made out of milled steel. Yeah, and they actually fit the irons perfectly. These plugs go straight into these little soldering irons. And I'm just going to start unboxing. The first one you're going to see, the packaging is really nice. Like that's something that Chinese really have perfected. Get like shipping their stuff in great packaging. Like look at this. The thing about this one is it cost me 75 bucks prime shipped by Amazon overnight. And contrary to the AliExpress one that I have here, this one came with a second tip, and it came with a little power supply, which I hope I don't need because it kind of defies the whole purpose of getting one of these. But it wasn't such a bad deal regarding like this one was, I think they have increased in price a little bit. I see a lot of guides referencing them as being sold for 35 bucks. And this one was sold for something like around 50 or 55 bucks with a single tip. Replacement tips are usually like, I would say, 7 bucks. So this one with a tip would, with a second tip would be, I don't know, 62 bucks as in American dollars. The power supply is very hard to kind of evaluate here. So I'm saying like this one's it has been shipped very fast. It's shipped by Prime. You can like return it if you're not happy with it. And I think 75 euros is an okay price. If you want to really get the cheapest version, you can get one for 55 or like around 50 bucks, and you might want to get a second tip, even though this one was shipped with a quite usable tip. They make that, I heard many people got the ones with the conical tips, which are crap. I'm just gonna open the manual. This manual is like really cute, and there's like one, this is a very important page, the power adapter selection. So basically you can put in a power adapter that goes from 12 volts to 24 volts. And if you look here, this they give you like an estimated time it takes to heat up the iron from room temperature, or 30 degrees, to 300 degrees. And you can see at 12 volts it's 40 seconds, at 24 volts it's 11 seconds. So you double the voltage and you take the heat up time down to pretty much a quarter. You can see that if you look at the power as well. A low voltage means that the amperage is also rather low, and together with the voltage, the amperage also raises, which means with the voltage, the amperage raises, and this means the power doesn't increase linear, but rather exponentially here. So you can say you double the voltage and you almost quadruple the power the unit has. This means this power supply here, while it is very well suitable. Like if you have one of these power supplies, you can very well use these irons. You can use these very well to power the irons. They have a very nice connector here, and you can make sure these were built high quality. These are high quality power supplies, but they only have 16 volts here. 16 volts, 4.5 amps, which is like more than enough even to power the highest volt setting here. You can see 16 volts, goes up to about almost 2 amps, and has about 30 watts. It's not a bad place to be here. You're at about 50% of the potential of the iron, like considering that the potential is having around 65 watts here. So I think 16 volts with a nice highly potent power supply here is a great way to go. But I was looking around a little bit more, and I found these a little bit newer power supplies for ThinkPads, and they are also outdated because they come with this big round plug, and they have been replaced by this plug. This is the modern plug now. The funny thing is you can get converters from this plug to this plug, because this time they haven't changed the voltage. They are 20 volts, and the newer power supplies with the same plug here, with the new square plug, they also have 20 volts. So yeah, I had a 20 volts like these 20 volts adapters with this plug. I have a lot of these because I had a lot of ThinkPads from this era and some spare power supplies and stuff, and I was quite unhappy when they changed to the stupid little square one. But I understand that this plug is the socket for this plug is thicker than most modern ThinkPads, so I understand why they did this. So what I did, I had like one of these adapter cables that had like a socket for this and a plug for this, so you can use this one to power your modern ThinkPads. What I did is I took the socket here, this is the socket, and I soldered it on to a plug that goes into my soldering iron. So I now have an adapter for this modern ThinkPad, like modern ThinkPad power supply, 20 volt rating, also 4.5 amps. 4.5 amps. Let's check that out. Like at 19 volts it draws 2.1 amps. The maximum it draws at 24 volts is 2.7 amps. So with a 4.5 amps rating here, we're very safe. I'm gonna put this away. So I'm just saying, the nice old T40s era power supplies are probably a great way of powering these irons, but you're gonna stay a bit below the real potential. And it's a really fun thing to convert one of these 20 volt power supplies to work with the iron. That's what I'm gonna do. This is plugged in now, and let's fire this cutie up. Okay, what you do is this is the actual iron. That's it. That's the iron. Yes, it's even labeled Pro 32 here. The other one that we can like even this one is like very well packaged. It's almost iPhone-like. So you can see this one's labeled TS-100, and this one's labeled Pro 32. They've got the rating of the power supply written next to it. Well, like one of them has. Other than that, they're like pretty much identical. Yep. So this one comes with a single tip, and that's it. That's all you get, and that's all you need basically if you have a power supply. So what you do is you grab one of these tips, and the nice thing with these tips is this is a modern tip concept, which means that the tip isn't just let me see if I can find one. No, it's not here. Like back in the days, not back in the days, like not so modern, not so expensive soldering irons have something like this. You've got like, this is something that you slide over. This is like the front. This is like screwed into the front of a soldering iron, and you have something like this. This is the actual tip. it falls into here. Yeah, see, and this sits in here now. And then you from the actual iron itself, you push a heating element into this little, into the actual tip. The heating element will go in here and try to make the best connection possible with the tip, and it's just going to heat up the tip here. You can see that this is a point where a point where a lot of heat loss is going to happen, because you have like physical contact here happening. And you also have a problem with the measuring of the temperature, because the measuring of the temperature has also got to be done. Like the temperature sensor can't be up in the tip here, because the tip is a separate piece. So this is like the old way this was done, and this is the new way it was done, where the whole heating element, everything is all contained in one unit. And you can see in here, like if you there's some teardown videos where you can see that there's like some two little clamps here that just clamp onto these parts. Probably another one for the temperature sensor. And now you've got the heating and the temperature sensing all happening in one monolith unit, which means that the heat transfer is going to be much better. So even though this is like a reasonably priced tip, it still comes with the super modern technology. So I just slide this one in. It slips in really nicely, and you just adjust the angle. This is like a reasonably good tip, but I've ordered the little what do you call it? I've ordered like they have an overview of the tips that are available here. Let me check. They have the source code in here. They're referencing the source code and explaining what happens where in the source code. Oh yeah, here we go. These are the different tips that are available, and I've gotten it. Like I'm going to get a D22 tip, a chisel tip. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called a chisel tip. Yeah, and funny enough, this iron came with the exact same tip that we have here. Fortunately, this didn't come with the stupid conical tip. We also have the conical tip here, which is something that I don't like. I don't understand how this could ever become popular. Maybe this was before my time, but conical tips just don't make sense to me when you're soldering something that is like almost exclusively flat, like a PCB. Okay, so both ready for action. One thing, I'm just gonna keep these things anyway. Like, why bother? Here we got them. Thankfully, they both have their name tags. I bet there's like one big factory that just yanks them out, and you have the option to get like your custom engraving here. I bet I could get one where it says Woden. Yeah, what these things are also missing, even the expensive all-inclusive one that includes the power supply, which I try not to use, is a stand. You can get like these, like with every nice little cheap gadgety tool, you of course find tons of printable, like 3D printable accessories for these. I'm probably gonna print a case for them, but you don't find like you can find like bent wire stands for the soldering iron. It's all crap. Get something like this. I think I paid like I think I paid like $10 shipped on Amazon DE for this. I hate sponges. Don't get a wet sponge. Get one of these metal wool, like brass wool ones. That's nice. Like, do yourself a favor. Yeah. So it fits in here. It sits well enough. Like, I'm not gonna be overly critical here. Just gonna get this as a second stand. Yeah. So. Yeah, you can see like this one, it has a power plug and a micro USB plug. You use the micro USB plug to do firmware upgrades. The The traditional way to do firmware upgrade is like you kind of hold on a button, then you plug in, or you just plug in. I'm not sure, and then it registers as a USB drive. You put the hex file on the USB drive, and bam, you're done. It's a firmware upgrade. So yeah, this is the TS-100. This is the one I got off AliExpress, but I don't have any impression at all that these are going to be performing differently in any way. Let's just plug in the power. Okay, it starts like this. Press the button. Pressing the button means that the tip's gonna heat up, and I just want to see if it really heats up to the temperature that they're saying. So I'm gonna press heat up, and when it says it's at, I think, 300 degrees Celsius, of course, I'm gonna try and like melt a pad here. I mean, it's not really scientific, but let's just. Oh yeah, I think it has a lefty mode too. The nice thing about this is you can get like a nice thin flexible cable here, and get like a very lightweight and easy to use soldering iron. Like this is actually pretty yeah. Gotta okay, I'm gonna press this button, and you can see like it heats up quick. Bam, little overshoot there, a little you can immediately see some smoke coming up from the brand new tip. Oh yeah, it's eating in there. It's really heating those tips up. I mean, this is a G80 PCB. It's pretty much cardboard with a bit of solder on it. Is this straight? Yeah. Kind of felt a bit strange. Yeah, but that went really well. Feels odd. It's probably might be the tip that kind of gives me an odd feeling about this. I really hope the chisel tip's going to arrive soon. Yeah, you can say like this is a very nice tip. Like I'm getting. It's a new way of desoldering switches. I'm just gonna get 4 of these. I'm gonna fix them, like 3D print something that's gonna hold them in place just to get all these 4 contacts. I'm gonna drop them onto a switch, then you can just pull it out. that would be pretty insane. Yeah, so that was fun. Let's pull the plug here, see how the other one works. Did I change anything here yet? Oh yeah, it has a different logo, but otherwise it does the same thing. Oh wow, that's cute. You can see the voltage reading here. Factory reset. Temperature. Sleep time. Idle time. Off voltage. Oh, off voltage is 10. Temperature is centigrades. Ah. Ha! That's cute. I've switched it to lefty. Yay! How do I get out of here? Pretty sure that Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, now it's in lefty mode. Let's try the same thing here. Powered up. I think it swapped the buttons. Oh yeah, it swapped the buttons. That's cute. Now I have to press the other button to get it heat up. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna like once again you can just see this thing is heating up really quick. Yeah, this is just fun. Like really nice. This is just 300 degrees. It is probably a tin solder, but it's still. I'm just having this thing at 300 degrees, and it just melts the pads like it's nothing. That's cute. I really like that. Yeah, the stand is of course a bit budgety, but that's okay for me. Okay, yeah, that was fun. Like taking a look at these soldering irons. I'm just gonna like once I got my chisel tip. I think I ordered it on AliExpress as well. It's supposed to be here soon. I ordered it at the same time I ordered the iron, so I'm hoping it's here soon. I'm just going to do a full soldering. Oh wait, let me close the one door. It must be horrible. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize the heater just came up. That's super loud. Okay, let's get this little freaky gone. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, like this is the same thing from Vela, with a bit more sophisticated concept. This is my very good Vela iron, and you can see they've gone a step further, and they've put in a 3.5 millimeter jack here. So the whole tip here is one component, and the grip, the connection to the soldering iron is actually just a socket more or less. And this is really like the super hard way of doing it. I'm gonna switch this one on and tell you how long it takes to reach 300. Like, it's very difficult to grab. Oh, like, let me see if I can get this on camera. Oh, there we go. Just a comparison. 1,000 euros Weller station. Yeah, that's another league. Snap 335. Okay, you can see the other iron, the other one that's still heating up. That's like an 80 watt. That's an 80 watt desoldering iron. That's a pretty hardcore one. Like, you can see how long it's struggling to heat this one up compared to this one. This is like this has been their signature soldering iron for a while. Not sure if it still is, but at the time I bought it, it was like the shit. And like, it is still just so amazing. I mean, the cable you get here is like a super flexible, thin and super lightweight silicon cable. Like but yeah, this part, like the thing that attaches here, like this part is 180 bucks alone, like without the base station and all that stuff. So you get an impression of the price difference that we have here. It kind of puts these little China irons into perspective. It's really, you're getting a really top concept, or top how do you call it, top technology, like a very modern technology with this integrated tip for a pretty reasonable price. If you can grab like a nice sort of stand, like this stand is also nowhere nearly as well designed as the one that came with my with the Weller. But then again, like you can I'm probably going to be using, if I want to use these irons, I'm probably going to use this Vela stand for them. They actually work pretty well in here. But I think, yeah, the standalone, you can buy these stands, and they're like also, I don't know, lots of euros, and yeah. If you want to, yeah, I recommend getting something like this here, something that has some brass wool in there and that holds your iron in place properly. You can also use something like this, which is even cheaper, and it's probably going to come to a point where you kind of get the cable, this one flips around and sets something on fire, and then your house burns down, and all your chickens die in the coop. It's gonna suck. You're not gonna be eating eggs for a long time. Then you're gonna be eating ham instead. You're gonna get like a stroke, and then you're dead. That's what happens when you use this as a soldering iron stand. You're dying of ham overdose. Yeah. So good news is we're 30 minutes into the stream. And my machine hasn't crashed yet, and yeah, I'm just gonna end here, and I think this is long enough to figure out whether the 60 frames streaming has been working well, and yeah, expect to see some more nice expect to see these little soldering irons more in the future. I hope I will be able to put them into my soldering iron rotation. I also have like a different iron I can connect to the Vela. One old tag iron. Oh, that's very nice idea. Like I've got a Vela iron. Like, come on. This one. It's a 65 watt iron. It connects to the same machine, but this one you've seen the front part of this one. I've shown it earlier in the video. See, this is the part. This is the heating element, and it has like a tip that's trying to do it's probably the best way they can possibly transfer heat into the tip here. But the tip is just a little sleeve. It slips over here, so this is where the heat transfer is happening, and this used to be the shit for a very long time. So you put this over, screw this in, yeah, and we can compare these. That's probably nice. Like this iron would probably be a fair comparison to these. Just like seeing how a cheap iron with an integrated tip performs versus a non-cheap iron with the old style of tips. Yeah, that'd be fun. Like if it really fails, I can still use the stand. Like this is going to make a nice stand for these irons. Oh yeah. Oh no, probably not. Too much hot metal versus plastic contact here. Never mind. Ooh, tippy. Let's dip in here. Oh yeah, you can hear the beeping. It means my laundry is done, and this means I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're not disappointed that this has been pretty useless.